does. There's a lot of ups and downs and sideways things to go. But recently, a lot of topics that have been coming up, and even a couple guests on my podcast, but also on Twitter, we've been bringing up this imposter syndrome thing that's been going on. Um, can you speak to imposter syndrome? And my one question is, does it come from a little bit of the infatuation point, like where you
Yep.
want to be, you see this thing, I want to be it, and then you're it, and now you're like, that ain't me.
Yeah, you nailed it. Okay, so imposter syndrome is infatuation, and infatuation causes the comparison. Great catch, by the way. So it's really cool because what winds up occurring is you'll infatuate with someone on the outside, you'll admire them, and you'll put them on a pedestal, right? And in that moment that you put them on a pedestal, that's when you start to try to become them. And as you said, you become that person and you're like, this isn't what I wanted, right? And so you're learning the lesson that you're admiring them, over infatuating, you've injected their life into yours, and that's not authentically who you are. We're not meant to mimic the people that are out there that have done great things. We're meant to stand on their shoulders, not in their shadows, utilize them as a jumping off point for our own lives, for our own careers, for our own self. And so what winds up happening with this comparison component is, in the moment that you infatuate with someone, that's a disowned part inside yourself. Whatever you're seeing in that person that you think you need or you don't have, you actually haven't seen it within yourself in your own form. Right. And so business owners, a lot of you guys are going to understand this. So like, for example, if I look at an athlete, right? Let's say I look at an athlete and I think, wow, this person has amazing stamina. I'll use a surfer as an example because it's kind of like the sport
Fair.
I follow. Yeah. So
That's fair.
surfers, I see them surf all day, right? And they're doing it for hours. And I see their strength and how they get up on the board. And I'm like, the amount of endurance they have to be able to sustain that for all day long is impressive to me. Okay, that's impressive. Now, if I put them on a pedestal, I might go out, which I have, and try to be that surfer and stay out all day. It's not my thing. It's like, I like it, but it's not my full-time job here. So that's an unrealistic expectation for me to be who they are and do what they do, to exercise the way they exercise, to practice the way they practice, train the way they train. And I've tried that before and I've utterly failed. But when I look at where do I have excellent endurance in my life, the same thing that I'm admiring, where do I have that excellent endurance? Where do I have that component within myself that I could go all day long? I mean, business, straight up. I could do podcasts. I could do speaking engagements. I can work with clients. I love creating like content and information. So I'm just like, yesterday was all content creation day. Like, I got like a month and a half, like all pre-done. And